Hey, so we all make mistakes, but owning up to them is the right thing to do. You know Degree Cool Rush deodorant? Well, last year they changed the formula and it did not go over well with their fans. Degree's whole thing is it turns up the sweat and odor protection when you turn up the effort. And good thing it does because Cool Rush fans really turned up the effort to bring back the original formula. One guy even started an online petition. And Degree listened. They admit it, they effed up. And they are bringing the original Cool Rush set back. And it's exactly how you remembered it. Cool, crisp, and fresh. It's back in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. There's a reason why it's been the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. It's the same reason why people were not happy when it changed. So if you never tried it, it might be a good time to see what the fuss is about. Head to your local Walmart or Target to try the OG Degree Cool Rush for yourself.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Chris Paul has agreed to go to the LA Clippers for his last season. This will be his 21st NBA season. He's saying after this is wrap. So
That's dope.
He's playing for the Clippers for his last season.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great run with the Clippers.
That's right.
Way back when. So, and the Clippers are championship contenders. So I like to see people that have had great careers, that have never won rings, at the end of their careers, that's what they should be trying to do, win a ring. I hate when they just be on some team that, don't have a chance in hell. But the Clippers
they got a shot.
Yeah, they got Bradley Beal now, too.
Yeah, they got a shot.
Kawhi Leonard.
What's up, Morgan?
James Harden.
All right, okay, keep clocking it. I like that. All right, hey y'all, how y'all feeling on a Tuesday? Good. All right, let's get into first on front page. The former Louisville police officer convicted in relation to the death of Breonna Taylor is being sentenced to 33 months in prison. Brett Hankinson was found guilty of violating Taylor's civil rights when he fired blindly into her apartment in 2020 during a botched raid. Now, his bullets didn't hit anyone, and last week the Department of Justice recommended he only receive 1 day behind bars. Before sentencing, 4 protesters were arrested outside the courthouse, including Breonna Taylor's aunt, attorney Benjamin Crump, Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, and her boyfriend, Kenny Walker, who was there, spoke outside the courthouse during a press conference following the sentencing. And here's what here's what attorney Ben Crump had to say about that sentence.
We thank the judge for her attention to detail and for setting the record straight that he was convicted of depriving Breonna Taylor of her civil rights, Fourth Amendment seizure. And that is a crime that we acknowledge in America that you go to prison for. So he is going to prison, and we have to keep watching as to when he is going to go to prison.
So Tamika Palmer, Breonna Taylor's mother, and her boyfriend, Kenny Walker, also spoke outside the courthouse, and they talked about whether or not they felt like they received justice. Let's take a listen to their comments.
I
feel like we got something.
Yeah.
We got something. I don't think it was a fair sentencing, but it was a start.
I'm grateful for the small piece of justice that we got. It's definitely not what I was expecting. And Brett Hankinson told me I was going to go to jail for the rest of my life, so I definitely feel some type of something to see him going for, even if it's a little time.
Yeah.
So,
There's so much going on in the world that I forgot that trial was even happening, and I forgot what the cop was on trial for. So less than 3 years, is that the appropriate sentence? I mean, if they're happy about it, I mean, like, we should be too, right?
I guess, it's certainly a stark contrast from 1 day. So, 33 months goes to show that, at least some justice can be served, or at least to your point, the family is semi-satisfied. So, yeah. So in other news, some civil rights activists are criticizing the release of Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination file. The Trump administration released thousands of pages yesterday.
That's not what the street's asking for. The street's asking for the Epstein files. Don't try to. They're not going to deflect. Don't try to distract. That's not what the street's asking for. The streets is asking for the Epstein files.
I was going to get to that, but yeah, pretty much that's what That's what it is. So the Trump administration released thousands of pages yesterday, all related to King's 1968 death. Atlanta's King Center called it ill-timed. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said the documents detail the FBI's investigation into the assassination, discussing potential leads and information about the assassin, James Earl Ray's former cellmate, and more. What Reverend Al Sharpton called it a desperate attempt to distract the firestorm over Trump not unsealing files over Jeffrey Epstein's death.
Yeah,
So,
MAGA did not call. MAGA did not call for no MLK Jr. assassination files. That's not what MAGA wants. Listen to your base, Trump. MAGA wants them Epstein files, okay?
No, for real. But House Speaker Mike Johnson says there won't be a vote on releasing those files related to Epstein before lawmakers at least go on break in recess in August. So we'll have to wait to see if those files get released following the August recess.
Remember I told y'all last week, early last week when all of this first started happening, I was like, you're going to see so much flooding of the zone, meaning there's going to be so many different news stories that come out that try to distract and deflect from them Epstein files. And boy, he's been throwing some stuff against the wall, but it ain't nothing sticking. Because everybody want to see them Epstein files.
The people want to know. All right, y'all. So that's your front page news for 6 a.m. at 7. We'll get into what's happening with we'll get into more presidential news. We'll get into it, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Morgan. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Salute to Chris Paul. He's agreed to deal. I'm not sure what the deal was, but his last deal, because this is the last expected final season, he's going to be playing with the Clippers. So congratulations to Chris Paul. He had an amazing career. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, so I do want to give a quick weather alert, just kind of a heads up that severe weather could cause flash flooding in the Midwest and on the East Coast this week. Elsewhere, a heat dome could send temperatures soaring into triple digits. The flooding risk is greatest across Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. So please take heed to any local alerts that come to your phone and your TVs and things like that through across media. Meanwhile, places like Kansas City and Dallas could see 100 degrees or more. Forecasters say the heat wave may stick around for a while thanks to drought and limited rainfall in places like Kansas and Nebraska. In other news, the White House is blaming the policies or Biden policies for, the White House is blaming the policies of former President Biden for the shooting of an off-duty police patrol officer in New York City, an off-duty border patrol officer. Now, spokesperson, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Biden's immigration policies allowed for the suspect, an illegal immigrant, to enter the U.S. and roam free. She added that that's the reason why President Trump won 2024's election. Let's take a listen to her comments.
This tragedy that took place over the weekend at the hands of yet another illegal alien invader who was allowed into our country and released by the Biden administration. And this is exactly why President Trump was elected into office with an overwhelming mandate to secure our homeland.
So the officer was shot in the face and is expected to survive that incident. Meanwhile, Border Enforcement Director Tom Homan and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visited the Border Patrol officer. Now, Russo from the Department of Homeland Security calls the Border Patrol officer a hero, while New York City Mayor Eric Adams says the goal is to get dangerous people off the streets. Let's take a listen to their comments in part. That's Frank Russo from the Department of Homeland Security and New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
He did exactly what we ask of all of our officers under the circumstances. He executed our mission, which is to protect the country.
Migrant and asylum seekers who are bringing violence and really tarnish the reputation of those who come to this country to pursue the American dream.
So the NYPD alleges Miguel Francisco Nunez shot the Border Patrol officer who returned fire during an apparent botched robbery. Nunez has been wanted for numerous crimes in New York. President Trump says Mora was apprehended at the border for illegally coming in 2023 under the Biden administration, but instead of being deported, he was released. So.
Man, it's horrible what happened to that officer. And I feel like the climate of the country we live in is what leads to stuff like that. And it's sad that, that situation is going to be politicized, for the next few days.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, switching gears, let's take a listen. Listen up if you use Power Stick deodorant, and then I'm going to get up out of here.
Don't nobody use no deodorant. Have you smelt these people?
Yo, shut up, yo.
Have you been outside lately?
So Power Stick deodorant Power Stick deodorant users, not calling you losers, but listen up. Over 67,000 cases of roll-on deodorant sold nationally have been voluntarily recalled over a manufacturing defect. A report from the FDA says a voluntary recall was initiated by AP Duvel LLC, the manufacturer of Power Stick deodorants. Now, more than 67,000 cases of 3 different types of antiperspirant are being recalled. The affected products include Power Stick for Her roll-on antiperspirant deodorant powder fresh, Power Stick Invisible Protection roll-on antiperspirant deodorant Spring Fresh, and Power Stick Original Nourishing Invisible Protection roll-on antiperspirant deodorant. An FDA report says the deodorant was recalled for CGMP deviations, meaning the manufacturer failed to maintain some sort of good manufacturing current practices in some way. So if you use Power Stick, just go ahead and throw it out of the way or take it back to your retailer. And don't use that because there's a recall underway for that, and maybe switch brands.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Now is not the time to be recalling deodorant. Okay, we need all the deodorant on the streets that we can.
Too hot for that,
have.
right?
No. Yes. Now is not the time.
I thought it was just me. I
to
thought
be
my nose
recalling
was sensitive.
deodorant. Okay, I don't care if you know what it may be causing people. Okay, if it's causing them not to stink, it's worth it.
Oh, man. All right, so that's your front page. He said, listen. And that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Y'all can follow me on socials at Morgan Media. That's MorgynMedia. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all. Have an amazing Tuesday.
You too. And I just want to say before we continue on, I just want to say thank you, God. And the reason I'm saying thank you, I heard this story this morning coming to work about this uncle who threw his niece down the garbage chute in Staten Island. They don't know the reason why, but he threw his 1-year-old niece down the garbage chute, and she survived with no issues and no problems. How crazy is that? Like, through the I don't know how many floors, but through the garbage chute, they had to go rescue her, and she was fine. So I just wanted to say that happened in Staten Island yesterday. I'm sure it'll be everywhere today, but
God still got a plan for her.
That's right. So Jesus, all right. Now, when we come back, Malcolm Jamal Warner, he passed away, rest in peace. He did the first interview in our new studio here, 2 years ago?
2023. It was January 2023. It was the first week back from vacation for us. And yeah, he was the first guest in this new studio. And I mean, he is, when we sit down and we have these long form conversations, this is the reason I love long form conversations, you know, because of sadly moments like this, you know, because you get to know people in those long form conversations. And you know, when people pass or when you want to learn more about a person, you tap into those long form conversations. So I'm happy that a lot of people heard the interview and watched the interview before he passed away. But you know, now that you know he's gone, we can pay tribute to him, in a real way by rerunning this interview. And
when I seen him a couple of weeks ago, he was so appreciative because he was like, you guys actually played my music. And he was like, people were calling me about the music. And he went viral for something he said. I can't remember what he said. But
there were a lot of things in that conversation that went viral.
He went viral for something, but he was like, the good thing about it is, he said he doesn't really care. He didn't care what people said, but he just cared about it opened up conversation. Yeah. And he was just so happy for that interview. So definitely rest in peace. We're going to get that interview back on when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.